It's the pre-show, baby.
Yo, I'm about to go out there. They're about to start letting my people in. Are they letting them in yet? They're not letting them in yet.
Soon.
They're gonna start letting my people in. I'm gonna walk out there all dramatic like. Here's what it looks like backstage at an Anime Expo panel. That leads out to, I assume, hell. That leads out to that exit we call paradise.
Normally you'd have gone the other way, because that's dark and ominous, and that's light.
Yeah, well, you know. You know how we got best guy ever on film here.
What's up?
Yeah, let me.
No. Peace.
Yeah.
Much
you
love
look
to my
good.
boy Kendrick.
Much love. Here they come. People are coming in.
They're coming in, baby.
They're coming in from down.
Okay, we'll see him in a bit.
Are they talking to Munchie? Are they seeing Munchie and conversing?
They're getting
Some
there.
of them are going to recognize those guys. They're going to
sure.
recognize Nino and Munchie. Big money name. People are probably going to be trying to like get your attention while you're filming.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Hey, what's going on? Fucker, I'm filming a video.
Does it look like I'm making a motherfucking video right now, bitch? Actually,
They
kind of
told
does.
me not to swear too much.
Oh.
Well, they told me not to swear, but I regard that as don't swear too much. I don't really care if I never get invited back to this convention because.
Why is that, Digi?
Anime Expo sucks.
Oh, fuck.
I might say that during the panel, but I don't want to say it before the panel because I don't want to get in trouble. But this convention's not good. But,
It's
you know.
too commercial, man. Too commercial.
But the people who work here are good. People who work here are nice and cool. They've taken good care. I don't want to shit on anyone who organized this. They're fine people. Are they letting people in yet?
I don't think so. I don't see
People coming
him.
in from the top now.
Yeah, all right.
They're definitely letting people in now. The only reason I'm doing it this way is because I figured if I was just up there before it starts, people are going to come up to me.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want to halt the beginning of the panel. I want everyone to know, clear cut, this is when it begins, you know.
Word. That's smart.
I've got enough experience from BronyCon panels where we got... Remember, because at the Horseshoe Crew panel,
Yeah.
like, we did a dramatic entrance, but we still had people, like, up at the stage, and we had to be like, okay, we're starting.
Those are the
Go
eager
sit
beavers,
down,
you know? They're like, oh shit, what if I don't get time at the end? I gotta go right now.
Yeah.
I respect the hustle, but get the fuck off my stage, bitch.
Barely anybody in there. So
Yeah.
filtering in real slow if they are letting them in. They might be doing it like, I don't know, priority order or some shit.
Yeah, maybe.
I have no idea. I don't know how it works.
Bunch of JoJo bronies out there, dude.
JoJo Brownies. This is the only panel vlog you're ever gonna see that starts like with a full behind the scenes.
That's
you know?
true.
So that's what you get from the Otaku Gonzo journalist right there. Sick nasty farts. Come on. Okay, people are coming in for real now.
Okay, cool.
It is getting filled up.
You hear those people yelling?
Here, you want to film now?
Yeah, let's do it, dog.
You can put the camera like full.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good sized crowd. Yo, we got a tiny ass room here though. For that line outside.
Yeah, we got a full line. The panel's going to be completely booked, I think. Probably some people who wanted to see it are not going to.
True.
There was a line an hour and a half before it started, or like an hour and a half before it was even, you know, going to for. Hey, you have your phone on you?
I do.
What time is it?
Let's see.
I'm realizing if my phone's being used to film, it will not be able to keep time.
12:27.
Okay.
We gotta
so
let all
got
the people
3
filter in
minutes.
though. Yeah.
I don't think that'll take much. I'm gonna go out there at precisely 12:30 because I don't want to be late like every other fucking time.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Mic test and stuff.
That's true. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
How come you guys are back here?
Well, he's the presenter and he's just waiting to go on.
Oh, you're coming on? How nice. What are you presenting about?
Myself.
Yourself? Good for you. Look.
Nice to meet you.
What is your self presenting yourself about?
I am DigiBro, a digital influencer.
Oh, sure, I know about you. That's great. Nice. Nice. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Hope your panel goes well.
I hope so too. It starts in like a minute. So.
I'm sure it will.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Still filing.
12:28. You're gonna be so fucking punctual, dude. Did you, bro? He made it past 25, and there he was. Hey.
Hey. So your time is going to be starting at 12, exactly 12:30. So whenever you guys are ready, you guys can come right in, okay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, and we are going to end exactly on time. Are you guys doing any Q&As?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably? All right, just respect the time for the next panel if you can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a 1:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to like.
We'll kill you.
give
It's
me
Q,
signs.
so it's going to be 10, 5, and 3, and then end.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to have everyone settle in a little bit, and then you do whatever you guys want to do. We're going to help you guys out, okay?
Cool. Thanks, man.
Is there any lighting issues that you need? You should good?
Actually, they can see his pretty face. That's all.
Violent. I have no plan.
Shit.
I'm gonna do what DigiBro do and rant
Word.
incoherently for an hour. First, I'm gonna figure out what kind of fans are in the crowd, and then I'm going to just go in. I have no plan. I have no plan. But none of the other panels have been much better here, honestly. So.
Trigger put on a hell of a show, though. Trigger was dope.
I mean, they're at a DigiBro panel. They are expecting the DigiBro experience.
Yeah,
If they're that kind of, which I think a lot of them are.
that's true.
How many? I mean, we've had people recognize Munchie.
We sure have.
These are deep lore.
Yeah.
Deep lore fans here.
Well, let me check the time. We got 12:30 on the dot. They said to let him settle, though, so yeah, I might want to give him a minute.
Yeah, it's still a madhouse.
Take a peek out there. Hey guys. Hey. They love the best guy ever. What can I say?
I don't know if they could tell if it was you or me.
And maybe they thought it was you. They see sunglasses and they just know. You know what? I bet that was just a cheer Munchie started and then people just played along.
Looks like they might be done letting people in.
Well, let's check the time one more time. 12:31.
Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Is this one on? Are any of these?
Check the switch. Alright, so you got your intro.
Which one's on? Ready? Oh, there it is. Hey! Still people coming in. That's okay. Find a seat. If anybody has a seat next to you, raise your hand. I know you guys, everybody does. Everybody's got a seat. Whew, all right. Well, I have no plan for this panel whatsoever. show of hands, how many people here watch the DigiBro channel?
Hey, why, dude?
How many people watch the DigiBro After Dark channel? How many people watch the Procrastinators podcast? Even that's good now.
Right now.
All right, well, I guess that means you guys know your DigiBro lore. You know who this guy is?
Hey, everybody.
Well, I said I'll give the introduction, but I'm DigiBro. I do anime analysis on YouTube, and I also make, I'm known as the Otaku Gonzo journalist, as well as the human content machine. Which is why I had to ask all those questions, because like when I do a panel like this, I have to wonder how many people know me just as an anime guy, and how many people know me as like this. I put out a rap album the other day. So, yeah, I came here to Anime Expo because they invited me, and I don't know if they knew who I was really, or what I do, or like had any idea what they were in for. They told me I can't swear. So I just kind of expect this to be a complete madhouse. I was thinking it could just be a Q&A all the way through, but I don't know. Is that what you guys are into? Do you guys just want to ask me stuff, or do you want to? Yeah.
That's true, man.
Just shoot on SAO. He's undecided. I can't tell. What should I talk about? A1. It just so happens that A1 Pictures has a panel going on at the same time as mine. That was the one thing that I was like, well, I know, like, you know, they schedule stuff against one another, like, oh, people will want to go to this and this, so we'll schedule them at the same time, thin out the crowd. I was like, nobody who's coming to my panel is going to the A1. That at least is guaranteed. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of their work. They're teaming up with Studio Trigger now for. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a really stupid name. Darling is a Frank. Darling is a Frank. Darling is a Frank XXX Temptation. Yeah, that show. I don't know, man. I don't know if I should be excited about that. We should also Trigger announce the new show from the Girl in Ghana Kill Up Kill. Woo! Barely anybody. I got in because I have this industry badge, and so I went up to the front of the line and I said, "Hey, let me in," and they said, "Okay." There was a line like snaking around the whole convention for it, like 7 hours before it started. It was cool. Sorry you all missed it. Super dope. This my panel should be a recap of the Trigger panel.
Digibucks, so you just shoot at anybody.
Yeah, they had Trigger dollars. They were shooting out of guns. They like shot like weird fake money on the crowd. I have nothing like that. I have no budget for this panel. They showed up, you know. You're living in a van. I'm not living in a van. What else should I talk about? I'm just going to crowdsource this panel. What should I talk about?
The Donald Trump and the...
Donald Trump in Inferno Cop. Yeah, that happened at Trigger too. Donald Trump literally showed up in Inferno Cop, and it was super cool. And he talked about America, and he had like bread for hair. That was sick.
It was an American masterpiece made in Japan.
All right, more crowdsourcing. What else do I talk about?
Cyber trust!
I mean, how would you compare this?
Sorry, what was that?
How would you compare this con to the other cons you've been to?
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. I knew this was going to happen. Okay, so the conventions I've been to previously, I've been to Otakon 8 times or so, something like that. I've been to BronyCon 3 or 4 times. Shout out, raise your hand if you followed DigiBrony back in the day. Raise your hand if you want to walk out of this panel now that you've heard the name DigiBrony. No, it's true. I was famous in the horse community, and I did a lot of I did panels. I did even bigger panels than this at BronyCon. I'm not even joking. So yeah, I went there a few times, and all of those are in the Baltimore Convention Center on the other side of the country where I am from. And I've also been to NecoCon, which is a little local con, which completely sucks. Don't go to local conventions. Go if you have like 3 friends who you can go with, but otherwise they're not worth it. So I kind of became jaded towards Otakon over the years because when I went for the first time, I was 16, it was 2008, and it was a mind-blowing experience that shattered everything in my life up to that point to shreds. It was so cool. There were cosplays everywhere, Jam Project was there, and they played my favorite anime song, The Soul Taker, on my birthday. Yes! It was so cool. Yes! And this guy knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was epic, and it was the coolest thing I'd ever done in my life. So of course I was like, I'll come back every year. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And so I did go back every year, but every year it was less and less impressive. Now, you know, the scope of the convention center no longer was like mind-blowing. Seeing all the cosplayers, like, I've seen... You know, the first time I went, like I saw someone cosplaying Anthe from Utena, and I was like, people know Utena? Oh my god! And then like 3 years later, like there's Utenas everywhere. I guess it's popular now. I guess it finally happened. So, you know, over time it got less and less impressive, and also Otakon has fewer and fewer Japanese guests every year. And I don't want to see some actors on. I had to like censor my language. If it sounds like I keep pausing a lot, it's because I'm trying to find the non-swear word to use. But yeah, so they had fewer and fewer Japanese guests, and meanwhile Anime Expo over here in far-off land of California, which I never thought I'd get, it's like what, $500 round trip from Virginia.
Yeah, I thought you have to pay it.
I did have to pay it.
Okay.
They paid for my hotel and Amy's industry tax.
Okay, so you did have to pay.
Yeah, I had to pay for the flight.
Alright.
So yeah, I never thought I'd fly over here just because of the expense.
Is that our Patreon money?
Huh?
Is that our Patreon money?
That is your Patreon.
Ask him how many are subscribed to your Patreon.
What was that?
Ask how many are subscribed to your Patreon.
Yeah, how many patrons are in here?
$1.
Any amount is much appreciated. So they start announcing every year, like, oh, now we've got the Kyoto Animation people are coming, Trigger keeps coming to Anime Expo, Anamanaguchi keeps playing at Anime Expo, and I'm just looking at it like, oh my god, I want to go there. Like, that's all the cool stuff. And like last year's Otakon, I just went in and I was like, I'm here again. And then so I was like, okay, I have to go to Anime Expo next year. I have to go. And then it just so happened right before I was going to buy my ticket, I got an email like, hey, you want to be a presenter at Anime Expo? I'm like, yes. Please. So I am here now, and Anime Expo is... No, this convention's too big. It's too big. It's way too big.
Yes.
The building's too big. The Los Angeles Convention Center's too big. It's a huge pain to get around. I got lost on my way to this panel. We were down in the gaming room right over there, and we're looking at the map, the one in the app, which doesn't like layer the floors on top of each other. So I'm sitting there like, which floor is it on? We're walking through these hallways and stuff. Finally, we get up here, and I made it just in the nick of time. But yeah, it's confusing, it's massive, there's lines. I had to stand in a line to get out of the convention center because I have become horrifyingly addicted to cigarettes, and I was trying to go outside to have a smoke, and there's nowhere. There's this one exit. It's over to the side on the far end of the convention, and it's this beautiful doorway that when you see it, you're like, oh, there's heaven's light. I can go up there. And then you get up to it, and there's all these signs that say, not an exit. And I'm like, what do you mean? That is an exit. Let me out. I want to smoke. Instead, I go to the front door, and there's this huge line. And I was confused, because when I see a big line, I'm like, okay, that's for something. That can't just be to leave the building. But I go out there, and sure enough, and so I'm standing there like an asshole trying to have a cigarette, and some guy's like, could you move? I have kids, and I'm like, no one smokes in LA. No one likes smokers in LA, So anyways, also you can't get into any panels unless you wait for like 3 hours. So it's one thing that the panels are scheduled against each other. So it's like, I can't see Tensai Okamura because I'm doing this panel right now. It's the director of Darker Than Black, and what did you do recently? Someone? Recent Tensai Okamura show? Anybody know? No! I don't know. Anyway. He did World Conquest, Vesda Plot, and some other stuff. He did something, like, he's got something on TV right now, I think. But anyways, he's here, he's cool. I skipped him for this. But then it's not just that, it's also that you have to miss the last 3 panels you wanted to see to get in line for the panel you want to see. So I've gone to 1 panel so far. Well, 2.
2017.
I saw the Fooly Cooly and Trigger one, so that's it.
2016.
What was that?
Kuro Mukuro.
Kuro Mukuro. That was Tensai Okamura. Okay. Nobody watched Kuro Mukuro. Raise your hand if you watched Kuro Mukuro. Literally like 5 people watched that. Yeah, same. So yeah, my impression of Anime Expo is I've had a great time because all my friends are here and there's news readily available. I've been drunk the whole convention. It's been fun because I've been drunk and hanging out with my homies. I got to go to a sweet rooftop soiree because of my industry thing. It was like we spent all of Friday trying to find the people to give me this badge. Like 2 hours, and then finally we find them, but we find them on this epic rooftop patio where they have like free food, free beer, free food and free beer, and there's all these like fancy fat cats sitting around, and they had a jazz band playing Sonic songs and stuff. And we're sitting there on the roof of like this hotel surrounded by skyscrapers, and there's a jazz band, and we were like, oh, they played a 9-minute version of Megalovania that melted my face off. It was awesome. So the con's been a great time. But as an anime convention, and I was explaining this to my friends that at Otakon they'll do something like how many of you know Sayo Yamamoto, the director of Yuri on Ice and Michiko Tohachi and Lupin III, the woman called Fujiko Mine. She's at this convention. At Otakon she would have a panel called Sayo Yamamoto Panel. And there would be 10 people there, because no one knows who she is. And it would be this deeply intimate conversation with Sayo Yamamoto, and you'd learn all of the deep recesses of her mind and what it means to be an anime director. Here it was, meet the creators of Yuri on Ice. So it was a giant panel, like 6 times the size of this room, completely packed, a line going around the convention, and so me and my friend Munchie here, and before the panel starts, they've got the monitors up and they're showing screen caps from the show. And literally every screen cap, giant whale of fangirl screams. The whole convention center. And I actually got a headache. Like, I don't even begrudge them for what they're doing, but I can't hear that much screaming. And then you know, the people came out, and Sayo Yamamoto sits down, and she's this far away from her microphone. And you know, and then you can hear the translator. And then every time either her or the other creator of the show would speak, everything they'd say, giant whale of fangirl screams, and I was like, I have to leave. I can't. So yeah, so in spite of it having more Japanese guests, it's sort of, you don't have the intimacy that you might get at a smaller convention. But there's no way around that, because you can't get the Japanese guests unless it's a giant convention. So basically, my conclusion I've come to is conventions should not exist. A gathering of like-minded people to do a fun thing, dress up and drink, and have illicit sex in hotel rooms. And that's what a convention's for. Seeing the Japanese guests, that's, you know, it's a nice bonus. I got to see Sayo. I confirm she's real. I know that a thing that exists, but anyway, anybody else has something they want me to talk about?
I was driving around with all that shit in your car.
I was driving around. How many of you know about what I've been doing for the last month and a half? I've been driving around the country, mostly the east part of the country, living with friends. I lived with him for a week. Yeah. I lived with Endless Jess. How many of you know about
Yeah!
That's for you, Jesse. I'm assuming he's going to watch this.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah, so I stayed with him, and it was interesting. Driving through every state is completely different. I made a vlog about that, so I'm not going to repeat it. You know, having all the stuff in my car was no big deal. I could see out the back window and everything. I took like my whole house with me. It was cool, and but I didn't want to cross the Midwest because the Midwest is hell. And apologies to anyone who lives there, not for what I just said, but because you live there. I'm deeply sorry you have to live in the Midwest. Yeah, so I was terrified of driving across it, so I just flew out here, flew to Portland and flew here. Stayed in Portland for a week, did nothing but smoke pot, and that was
Favorite place on the trip?
Huh?
Your favorite place that you went on your trip?
Surprising. I mean, some places I didn't get to see it. Like when I was in Portland, the people I was staying with, nobody had a car, so all we did was sit around, make music, and smoke pot, and that was it for me. But didn't really see Portland. I kind of just, you know, I mean, I saw the culture. I have a lot of that. I don't know how intimately I can describe smoking pot.
Bro, it's kind of funny. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's technically legal here, right?
Anything we deal with the line, Reggie?
Yeah, only way to keep saying these lines.
Did you hurt your voice? You already now say it's a broken voice?
Well, two people talked at the same time. Anyway, so my favorite place, surprisingly, well, I'll tell you my least favorite was Cincinnati, Ohio, where that guy lives. That place,
Yeah.
that place is horrible. He agrees. The funniest thing about tweeting about like different places I go, I'll tweet something like, "Man, Ohio sucks," and everyone from Ohio is like, "Yeah, man." And then I tweet something like, "Man, Portland's pretty alright," and everyone's like, "Yeah, man." It's like instant confirmation. Like, okay, I'm seeing exactly what the people here are seeing. Like, you all know, you know what your town's like. But in my blog about the driving experience in different states, I talked about Pennsylvania, coolest state to drive through, and all the responses I get from Pennsylvania people are like, "Yeah, dude, we go 90, man, we go 90 everywhere, we go speed all the time." Everyone's got initially mega mixes in their stereo, and that's it.
Fuck Pennsylvania.
No, man, driving in Pennsylvania.
Driving is cool.
It's
but
cool,
The
yeah.
actual state is actual track.
I don't care, all I have to do is drive through.
I went other places too. It was track.
But then also I was like complaining about the driving in New York, and everyone was like, "Yeah." I got a speeding ticket the second I got in. What else should I talk about?
You got the YouTubers here.
You with the hand up. Yes, you.
Okay, so out of your two favorite animes, which one is the best? Arrow Monster
Or Asterisk Wars? Okay, they're pretty close. But I gotta give the leg up to Eromanga Sensei. Because Eromanga Sensei, every once in a while, has a pulse. Every once in a blue moon, a character is like, hey, I have a personality. And I'm like, what? No, stop that. And they're like, okay, and then they stop. And I'm like, I spoke too soon, come back. But Asterisk War is a flat line. Asterisk War has nothing. It is a pure 1 out of 10 experience. I cannot say a nice thing about the Asterisk War except that the ending song.
It made you a lot of money.
And that it made me a lot of money, yeah. That's it.
When does the Asterisk War Sucks Blu-ray coming out?
I have honestly considered that, but I'm worried about how soon I will get. Because I would be making a Blu-ray of literally footage of the Asterisk. So I'm pretty sure that's why the Plebe and the Weeb's getting a Blu-ray, because that's all live action footage. But
They want to see it. You can hash it out with them and tell them that you want to get a Blu-ray.
anyone's gonna love my Asterisk War Sucks video.
Hey, yo, I talked a bunch of shit about one of your shows. You mind if I make a Blu-ray out of it?
I can't even get away with praising a show without getting it taken down. How many of you were there? I made that video.
Girlish number!
Yeah, I made a video called Anime of the Year, Girlish Number, and it got taken down by the creators of Girlish Number. That video had more views than the show had. All I wanted was to make people watch it, and it still got taken down. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad. How many people watched that show because of my video? Hey, only a few hands went down. That's cool. Yes, you over there. Yes, you.
What's your favorite thing about watching anime? Why do you get into it, and why do you continue to watch anime?
Why do I continue to watch anime? Why do I continue to watch anime? Alright. Settle down. I have to answer the
I
question.
meant to sound more hopeful than that. That's very pessimistic.
Well, the thing about anime, you know, a big part of it is that I grew up watching cartoons, and I mean, I've been watching anime for 16 years, and I'm 25. So I really can't remember before I was watching anime. I'm obsessed with making lists, as many of you are probably aware, and I have a list of every show I've ever, like 500 TV shows, not including anime, that I've seen at least one episode of. And of those, I have completed 3. 3 ever.
What are they?
They are Avatar: The Last Airbender, Well-Balanced Mouse, and I'm caught up on Atlanta. That's not finishing it though.
Yeah,
So-
Charles Gambino.
yeah, that show's great. Highly recommend it if you actually watch live action shows. Watch Atlanta, it's really good. It's Donald Glover's show. Anyway, so I've never seen a TV show basically. I've only seen. Meanwhile, I've completed 750 anime and seen at least some of like 2,000 or something. So force of habit might be a good answer, or like I don't understand things that aren't anime. I think in anime, like half of the voice in my head is Japanese, and you know, like you have no idea how often I'm in a store and I'm just like, oh, so this guy, yakisoba. Oh, hi. そうです。お前はチンチンが大好きだよ。Can I get away with swearing if I do it in Japanese? You there, glasses. Yes, you. No.
First of all, you're funnier than a late night comedy show from last night, so
Thank God.
Do a panel next time. And can you tell us anything about what you're working on now?
I've been driving around the country for a month and a half, so I'm not working on anything right now. No. I have a planned video that I think you guys will all enjoy. I'm scared to announce it because when I announce videos, they tend to not happen. Remember that time I was like, yeah, and in the next video, next time on DigiBros TV, 16 episodes analyzing every Studio Shaft director and it's, you know, it's in the pipes. You know how much anime Studio Shaft has made? Because the thing is, part one of that series is supposed to be, who is Shino Numa? And to make that video, I have to watch everything Shino Numa has ever done, a lot of which is not that good. Because Shino Numa is the main director at Silver League, and he's directed like a bunch of really mid-tier 5 out of 10 shows that I don't want to have to watch all of to make one video, while also making other videos, you know, on the side. But that's why I switched my Patreon to monthly, and maybe it'll be possible in the near future. But as for what I might be working on right now, I'll just say this video won't come out. That way, the video I'm not making and will never happen is top 100 moments in Cowboy Bebop. It was an idea proposed by my editor, the Naboo, because he said, there's got to be 100 moments you could talk about in Cowboy Bebop, and I went, yeah! Think about it, 26 episodes, that's an average of like 3.9 an episode. Easily doable. So, what? My mic is on. I didn't hear Oh, my numbers are off. My math. Yeah, somebody who's not British, like, yell at me. No, I can't do that. I failed. I once failed an Algebra 2 class with a 17%. Because all I did was read through the class every day. I'll call on you later. Who's had their hand up forever? Stand up if you've had your hand up forever. You. Yeah. No, behind you. You. Yes, you. Yes.
One, can you convince Demolition D to come back to me?
Yes. And two?
Two, is there like any anime that you're looking forward to seasonally?
Well, as for the Demolition D question, I don't think he's coming back. What? Do you think, is he coming back?
He's told me personally that he's working on stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
He
said
he
Well, maybe he'll be back.
Look, yeah, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's talking to Demo. I'm not one of 5 people that Demolition D has to talk to. What's the second one?
It's like a double layer of riding a wave right there. Like at my panel, talking about how much you know down piggybacking on piggybacking. Anyways, that's what I'm looking forward to seasonally. Not much. I usually don't watch much seasonal anime because I like to watch it when it's done. Because personally, what happens with me is I watch like the first episode and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And then 3 episodes in, I'm like, this might be my new favorite show. And then I never watch it again for the rest of my life. Because like that week I get on a Toho binge and like I miss an episode. And then I'm like, oh, now I have to watch 2 episodes to catch up? And I never catch up. So there's literally only 2 anime that I've watched every single week to completion. The first, and both of them were because I was blogging them. The first was Fate Zero back in 2011, and the second was Arrow.
Yeah!
So I don't even really know what's on this season. I've glanced at the chart, but I haven't really looked at the new shows. Me and him are probably going to pick up that Mappa show. Someone help me out. What's the gambling?
Gamble.
That one. We're probably going to do our next every week on that show. So pick that one up if you haven't yet. You in the front.
So what did you think of last season's big stinker, Handshakers?
That would have been winter, right? I only saw the first episode of Handshakers, and I enjoyed that show. And I don't, because the thing is, Handshakers is I think that like it doesn't capture the aesthetic it's trying to go for, but the aesthetic it's trying to go for is awesome. It looks so cool. Like everything looks terrible, but it's awesome. And I mean, when people say something like, when a show like Handshakers comes out, it's got like a 5 out of 10 on my anime list, and I'm like, okay, I get why that's the case. But that show is so much more interesting than like Eromanga Sensei, which has nothing going for it. And that show's got a 7, and I'm just like, because I'd rather encourage the guys who made Handshakers. Like, they're obviously making a terrible decision making this show, but I'd rather encourage them to try again, man. Like, you know, just take those ideas and do it right next time. The guys making Eromanga Sensei, I want to take all their equipment away from them and light their studio on fire and give all, well, I can't do that because Trigger's in the same building. But I'll just take all their stuff and give it to Trigger. And, that'll be fine.
Give it to Trigger so they can burn it.
Yeah, Trigger will burn it. Trigger will burn anything.
Trigger will burn anything.
The world. That should be their new motto. You right there. Yes.
So I don't know your relationship with Giga, but have you ever thought about doing a collab, like one-on-one podcast with them to try and do that?
Yeah! I did a couple of podcasts that Giga was in, not one-on-one. I've not really talked to him much, and I don't know what we would do a podcast about. When it comes to collaboration, what was that?
Bring back Kotaku.
No. No. Jimmy's over here with a sullen look like, don't bring it up. He's a Kotaku, incidentally. Nino, if anybody's heard of that guy.
So I'm never letting this dickhead on my channel again.
Yeah, that's the guy who made the hit piece about me. We're good friends, though. When it comes to collaborations, for me, it's like I have to have a good reason to collaborate with that specific person. Like, I mean, me and Nate are good friends, and I know him as a podcaster. He's very orderly and on schedule. He is the kind of guy who every week will be ready for the podcast. Some of my friends, we have great chemistry together, but they will show up 3 hours late and I'll be doing something else. So like, you know, when it comes to working with other YouTubers, I kind of feel like I need to know them and what they're about and what we can talk about well. And all that. What do you want, Munchie?
Hey, Digibro, big fan of yours. I just want to can you tell me something really fucking funny?
Hey!
Fucking funny!
They laughed, so I guess it was funny. I'm gonna go, guy who looks like he's wearing a Trump hat back there. You. Yeah. What is that hat? I can't tell. Oh, the Faku hat. Okay, close enough.
Is ISMA your favorite podcast, and which character is your favorite?
The Insufferable Social Media Argument, the podcast. Is my favorite character is the guy called Digibro. That's a show I do with a guy called Monkey Jones. Don't listen to that podcast. If anything, it can offend you at all. You up there. Yeah, you. Yes, you.
You said you attended the Fooly Cooly 2 panel. Did it change your opinion on any of that?
I mean, the thing about Fooly Cooly 2 is that I don't understand why it should exist at all. Because Fooly Cooly is a complete story that tells you everything you need to know about the characters and world, and it's done, and it's over, and it's cool, and it's good. And, I understand that they can make a good Fooly Cooly 2. And, I mean, the only recurring character, they've said it's a totally new story, new characters, except Haruko is there, essentially. So, I get how they can make another show that's basically like Fooly Cooly. But, to me, a lot of the appeal of Fooly Cooly is how personal it is to Kazuya Tsurumaki, the director. I watched all the commentaries on that, and he is like everything in the show is his idea, and it's just there because he thinks it's cool. Like how the characters are left-handed, his Naoto's brother and Haruka are left-handed, and that's just because Tsurumaki thinks left-handed people are cooler, and he admires them. Or people who eat spicy food, he thinks that's like, oh man, I really admire people who eat spicy food. So that's in the show. So like, so much of it is just his interests and tastes that to make another one, it's not going to feel that way because he's a supervisor. He's not really, you know, doing the creative involvement. And I can't help but think that the reason to do a Fooly Cooly 2 is it's a big IP, and they haven't done anything with it in 15 years. Why not make some money off of it? Why not make another one? Yeah, kind of like The Force Awakens. Like, I think that movie's fine, but like, why do we need Force Awakens other than because Star Wars is big and we've got big money. Everyone wants more Star Wars. You know? So like, and with Fooly Cooly, it's Adult Swim who's responsible for this. They're the ones who came to Production IG and were like, let's make another one because, you know, Fooly Cooly was not a big success in Japan. It was a big success here. So, you know, I understand why they want to do it, and they said they were throughout the whole panel. They're going like, oh, we're definitely we're putting lots of effort in. We want to do it right. There's no point in doing it if it's not just good enough, you know, to be as good as the original. But like, even if it's a good show, it's always going to be like, why did that Yeah, and I mean, Diebuster, I think what's interesting about that show is that it's like the next generation of people at Gainax, which is how they were kind of billing it in the Fooly Cooly panel. They were like, oh, we're bringing in all this new young talent, and now that they've revealed who the episode directors are, it's like lots of like Gainax and Trigger kind of guys, so maybe it will be like Diebuster, who knows? You know, because the guy who directed Fooly Cooly was the director of Diebuster, and he was the student of Anno, who did Gunbuster, so if it's like Tsurumaki's proteges doing the new Fooly Cooly, that would be awesome. But, you know, Econ's telling me that's not the case. What do you want, Econ?
Yeah, I've known you for like, God knows, 10 years by this point. Why do you make all this goddamn content anyways?
Why do I make all this content?
You make all this content, like every single time they mention something, it's like a podcast or a video series I never heard of.
That was a good question.
Why do you make so much content?
I'm gonna take you anyway.
Why do I make so much content? I can't stop. I don't know how to stop. I can't find the exit. Where's the exit?
There's a line.
I'd have to say. What did you say?
There's a line to exit.
Oh yeah, because there's a line. Okay. That's a funny joke. Yeah, I mean, when I was when I was a kid, I read lots of magazines, and I wanted to make my own magazines, and so I got into writing reviews, and I started posting them online, and then that turned out to be the only fun thing that I wanted to do ever. So I spent all of my time in class in high school just writing in notebooks out like full blog posts and stuff. That's why I got that 17 in the math class. I was just writing anime blogs the whole time. And then it's the same thing in college, and unsurprisingly didn't complete a degree in college. And then eventually I looked at YouTube and they were like, hey, I watched Game Grumps and they were like, we make money. And I was like, what? Money on YouTube? And so I started making videos. And so, I mean, it's just kind of like the thing I like doing is also the thing that is extremely profitable. So why not just always do that thing? I have no other interests or hobbies. I don't know, I'm terrible. I'm a broken man. That's you right there. Yes, you.
Sunbro?
Yes, you.
Okay,
Sunbro.
when do you go back to being a hobo? You know, long hair, long beard.
I don't think I'm gonna grow it all back out for a little while. I think I'm gonna keep it short for a little while.
Frank FC is here.
What? Did you say Frank FC is here?
Yeah.
In the panel? What the fuck?
Thanks for the shout out. I got 50 new subs.
Hey, we gotta do a freestyle. Do a freestyle.
Yeah, collab with me sometime, please. I love you. Well, I had no idea you were even at Anime Expo. What was I talking about before that? You excited looking guy in the middle, yes. You. Yes, you. Yes, you.
So the only question that I have is as a rapper, and since Nino is here, how would you say he compares to you?
Now they're just like, it's the whole world.
You don't have to answer that one.
What does lips taste like?
Stupidity.
You right there. Yeah.
Are you interested in possibly covering the Sun and Moon anime when it's done?
What was that?
Are you interested in possibly like covering the Sun and Moon anime when it's done? Like,
The Sun and Moon.
Like it's like
Possibly. I think it's awesome. It's a cool. One of the best experiences I've had all year was I was doing my finish or fail videos where I watched everything that every single show from last year that I hadn't caught up on yet. And I was sitting in this big beanbag chair that I got from Walmart. This beautiful blue beanbag chair, and I was laid back like this, and I had a TV in front of me. I moved the TV around. I'm playing Pokemon. I've been watching Pokemon since I was 8, so not like consistently, but I was a little kid, so Pokemon's very important to me. And the new show is beautiful, and I love the new game, and I'm sitting there, I've got a box of Tecate next to me. Tecate, how do you pronounce it? Tecate. I've got a box of Tecate next to me, and I'm sitting there, and I drink like 6 of them in the 8 episodes of Pokemon Sun and Moon that were out at the time. And it was the greatest experience of my life. And then I walked to Arby's, because I was too drunk to drive. And you've all heard this story if you listen to my rap songs, because I wrote half of an album on that walk to Arby's about my half a case of Tecate that I drank. So yeah, I'd love to finish Sun and Moon, but in that state exclusively. I don't think I could watch it sober, and I wouldn't. That's not like me insulting the show. I just want to be drunk. I like being drunk. You right there. Yes, you.
Okay. I guess 2 questions.
Yes.
One, what was the most fun part of making Gay and Dead? And 2, have you thought about doing a collab with Pedantic Romantic?
With Pedantic Romantic? I guess I haven't collabed with Pedantic Romantic. He's a guy who's possibly my biggest fan, and also rapidly growing anime YouTuber who, how many of you have seen the Pedantic Romantic? Wow, that's a lot of you. Let's film the crowd so he can see that.
We love that.
Also, moderator of my subreddit too. But yeah, I'll probably work with him because he and I are pals and he's cool. And anyways, as for the other question, the most fun part of working on Gay and Dead, my new album that came out, probably getting high for all of last week and recording the album. That's all we did. The cycle was I went to Blind Skywatcher's house in Portland, and again, nobody had a car. So every day we'd wake up at around noon, and we'd immediately produce a song. Like he'd start making a beat, and then once I started hearing it, I'd start writing out lyrics, and then we'd like hash it out over the course of about 4 hours. And then once it was over, we rewarded ourselves by just getting completely smashed on both weed and beer, and then recording bizarre podcasts. So if you want to hear like really weird podcasts, look forward to those. Because what we would do is we had my microphone set up between us, and we're just laying back in these chairs and like literally just playing music, like going on YouTube and being like, hey, let's listen to the new Migos song. And then we just like sit there and listen to a song and then like talk afterwards. And the song is recording through the microphone, and it did that for hours. So there's like probably 10 hours worth of bizarre podcasts that we did in a day. And also we did like improv rap albums where we just would like loop a Kanye beat for 20 minutes and then freestyle over it. That's already out. I retweeted it at some point, so you can find that out to either you guy in the front, you.
What do you think of the t-shirt, first of all?
Bring it closer. KFC enjoyed Kentucky Fried Human. Oh, KFH, okay. Kentucky Fried Human. Sounds delicious. I love. Yeah. What was the other part of your question, though?
Just showing. Thought if you could come. I just kind of just showing a hop.
Oh, wow. You had your hand up for a while. Guys, next word.
Is Alcohol on Sundays coming back?
Alcohol on Sundays. No, I canceled all my weekly shows because they were stupid. But like, because I had all these shows, it would be like DVD Tuesdays, Vinyl Fridays, and all of them, I canceled them all along the Mondays. But the only one that people cried about when I canceled it was Alcohol on Sunday. So maybe it'll come back because there's actually demand. Like DVD Tuesdays ended and no one said anything. Not a single person cared. You with the what looks like a beard. Yes, beard.
Have you ever considered a lo-fi hip-hop stream?
Making one? Why? There's like 1,000 of them already. I need to add on that pile. Guy way in the back.
Get Frank to help you.
Can you do a freestyle?
A freestyle. Is somebody gonna lay me down a beat? I know. No. Can we get a second? Are any of these on? People in the back? Is there anybody back there? Can we get a second mic?
They're not. We can make it.
Second mic. Is this one?
Hello, hello, hello?
Hello? This one's on. All right. I got Anime Expo, because I'm a real pro, seeing lots of people in the crowd, and they're all looking down at me now, and I'm thinking, man, the lights are really bright, I gotta put those suits on. Because I don't know where I'm from, or where I've been, or where I'm going. Gotta get a plane tomorrow. Oh, Jesus.
Used to be next to Dickie, so I'm not leaving now. I'm just gonna
Okay.
Did you see the premiere for Violet Evergarden yesterday?
No, I missed that. I was not willing to stand in the... I would have missed the trigger panel if I'd stood in that long.
I actually made it to both.
You made it to both?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I've read it.
I'm too tired and old for this. It's running. You with the blue shirt.
I'm not gonna say anything.
You are? No. Can't do the blue shirt.
I was already saying in the order I got laying around videos that how you kind of hated the show for it being kind of like teenage angst in high school. Yeah. And seeing how 90% of anime is about teenagers, watching anime every you take me back to times of high school. So like now that adult doesn't make you feel like a teenager again.
It really doesn't, because the thing about anime is that it's in Japanese high school, which is nothing like American high school. Yeah. Because, I mean, the high school I went to... What did you say?
Yeah, they have friends.
Oh, yeah. I had friends in high school. I still hang out with them. I don't have any new friends. No. The high school I went to was extremely unstructured, and it was very like, you know, I mean, like, I never joined any clubs, I never hung out in school, I didn't talk to anybody, I didn't know anything that was going on in the school. So like, for me, seeing anime high schools where they're all like so actively at school, you know, even shows like, you know, you see a show like Chronicles of the Going Home Club, but it's like all at school. And I'm like, well, that's like, I literally just went home when I was in high school. I would skip to go home. I would ride my bike home. I would do anything to not be at school. So like, when I watch high school anime, it doesn't feel even related to high school for me. Especially because most of the characters and their emotions, you know, anime characters are very like, innocent and like they're like worried about relationship drama, and all my friends were stoners in high school, so like if I wanted anime to remind me of high school, it'd just be like 5 potheads sitting around like playing video games.
Why does that happen?
Which guy? Gray. Guy in the gray.
Okay. So you made a video on Monogatari like an hour long years ago, and you have a text thing saying that you might update it later. Really, really loves the franchise and thinks it's gone downhill the past few years. Do you think you could maybe revisit it?
I have been wanting to revisit Monogatari. I kind of want to wait for it to end. I think it'll end. I think so. I'm also waiting for One I'll wait 20 more. When I'm 40, it'll still be good. But yeah, with Monogatari, you know, my intention was to like wait for a certain number of shows to come out and then like do another big hour-long thing. But now I'm at the point where that video is old, and you know, anything I made more than a year ago is utter garbage to me. So so I rewatched that recently and was like, I don't know if I'd probably have to go do the whole show again. So if I do Monogatari, I'll probably start over from the beginning and cover every single goddamn part of it. But yeah, partly why I was going to do it after Owarimoto, but I was waiting for the Kizumoto films to come out, and that was, you know,
That convinced me that it's really gone off the rails. Like it didn't have as much substance as I felt. It felt too pandering, which is something that you make a point of.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen enough of the newer. I haven't seen Owari yet, so I can't comment too much on where the series has gone so far. Because again, I'm just waiting for it to be over so I can catch up. You.
Yes. Me. Yeah. So my name is Gene. I was president of the Anime Club. I'm not like this fake hater. I've hated your content for 9 years. But yeah, I hated you so much. I finished college because I heard you dropped out. But yeah, for real, I just also wanted to tell you that the Legalized Lollies Incorporated also hates you now. So just
why would they hate?
Because you started unnecessary drama with another member of Legalized Lollies Incorporated. So
How can anything called Legalized Lollies be an enemy of the
don't shoot the messenger.
You though, the guy who I was actually pointing at.
Given that it came out this year, Ghost in the Shell live action. Okay.
Haven't seen it and I don't want to. I don't understand the mentality of people going like, oh, that's going to be terrible. I'm going to spend $10 on it. And I'm like, no, I'll wait till it's on like a bootleg VHS and then I still won't watch it. I'll never watch it because it looks terrible. You there. Yes.
Can you rap Fat and Dangerous for us?
Fat and Dangerous. I can't do the whole song. I need the beat. You need that. To really do that. Also, every lyric in that song is explicit.
We can do White Nigga.
No, we can't. You can't even say the name of that song in here.
We can do White Nigga.
You over there.
Me?
Yeah.
Could you name any anime that you would consider guilty pleasures?
I don't feel guilt. Every anime would have to be a guilty pleasure. But, I mean, if you want to ask me what my favorite bad anime is, Garzy's Wing is one of my favorite anime. It's legitimately one of my favorite anime of all time. And I can quote most of it, but I will. You there? Yes.
Yes. So my question is, are you happy where you are right now, or are you thinking about expanding your business, maybe?
I want to expand my business. My goal has always been to have 450,000 subscribers because that's the population of Virginia Beach where I live. And so I want to have as many subscribers as the population of Virginia Beach. I also want to beat all the other anime YouTubers because I see it as a contest, and anybody who's not you know, what's the line from the Rat King song where it's like, if you ain't a sportsman, if you ain't healthy, stay on the fucking sidelines. Right? No, that was a quote, so it wasn't me who said it. I was quoting something else. I didn't say the word. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest anime is it Mystic Renexius still? Is he still the biggest?
It's like
him or the anime.
Anime man and him are like really thousands of subs within each other.
And they're at like 1.1.
They're like 1.4 million.
1.4 million. I gotta get 1.5 million. Yeah. I don't care how cool they are. I killed them. So yeah, and also I want to start expanding revenue streams because all I really make money through is Patreon, which is fine. I make plenty, but like I know there's a lot of untapped potential. Like, and I don't mean like taking a blind. sunglasses that have my After Dark face on them. And I think some people would maybe, I also want to make pajama pants. Yeah. Basically, I just want to make clothes I would wear and see if people will buy them.
Please make merch, we'll buy it.
I want to. The problem with making merch is that like there's all the websites where it's like spring shirt or something. You just like give them a design and they're gonna charge $25 and I'll make 5 of that. Whereas if I actually could work with like a group that does this, like you know, a group that will like make a limited run of t-shirts, they can be cheap and I'd sell way more, and also I, you know, still get even bigger cut of it. So like, I just don't want to have to charge you guys $25, $30 for a gilded shirt or something. That's gonna be shit. But I thought about printing, making a print version. Oh, you're writing a sequel still? No, you're not. You just write it in a day, so it's not a real sequel. It's already been like
but it's actually done.
Whatever. I'll leave you. All right, that guy who the other guy is insisting I take the question from.
So, you talked earlier that you watched 3 TV shows. And the first one you mentioned was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
So the question I have for you is, the creators of that are making Voltron. Do you have plans of watching Voltron?
I've heard a lot of good things about the Voltron show on Netflix, so I might check it out. I think I meant to and didn't because I'm lazy and I don't watch anything.
As somebody who didn't like the original as much, my dad loves the original. I really like the new series. My dad actually also loves the new series.
I mean, I haven't seen any of the original Voltron.
My girlfriend got me into the new series.
Yeah.
So I was like adamant about going, I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm not going to enjoy it. And then
No, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Basically, watch Voltron.
Okay. Pikachu hat.
When are you doing a second shitting on anime YouTubers video?
We need enough anime YouTubers. Half the guys I shot on that video are at this convention.
Hey, the second shitting on anime YouTubers video, it's a little video called Digibro is a fucking hypocrite. You can
I just want to say that I was a little disappointed at that because I just read it because I thought you were trying to say that Digibro is actually a hypocrite. Wait, that was
You in the back. Yes, you.
Digibro is actually. No, it is hypocrite.
Oh, shush. Yes.
Since you've started, what is one of the biggest regrets that you have about a video, or something you wish you had done different?
There's one anime video that I actually removed because I thought it was so bad, and that was my review of Zanko no Terror. And it's because I just ripped on the show like really bad because of the fact that I was going online, like I'd only seen the first 3 episodes while they were airing, and all my friends told me it went super downhill and turned to shit. And so then I can't stop screaming. Then I went online and everyone was saying the same thing. So I'm in the mindset like, okay, everyone's disappointed with this show. I'm gonna watch it just so I can rag on it because it's it just ended. So I like motored through the rest of it, and I hated it so much that I just decided to put it on fast forward and like watch it in double speed. And I was like, this show's trash. I'm gonna rip on it. So I wrote like a 12-minute video just tearing it apart. But I was very like non-specific with my complaints, or just generally was acting like everyone knows this show is bad. And then I put it out, and half of the response is, I love that show. What are you talking about? And it's like half dislike bar. And at first I was just like, whatever. These kids don't understand. But then Demolition D put out his video on Albino Zero, and he was kind of arguing the exact same point I was, but did it so much better that I just, in shame, removed my Zanko no Terror video and was telling people, like, just go watch his Albino Zero video. It's exactly how I feel about Zanko no Terror. As for any other regrets, I mean, every time I watch an older video of mine, I hate something about it because of just the way my style's evolved over time, where, I'm always getting more concise, I'm always finding better ways to word things, better ways to edit the audio in my videos. If you watch the older ones, the sentences just run right into each other, and it can be really headache-inducing to hear like 15 minutes with no pauses. How much time do we have left? Zero? Oh, I couldn't see you guys. All right, everybody, that's the end of the battle. Yay!
Yeah, sure.
I love it.
All right, Digi, I'm cutting this thing off.
Yeah, go ahead.